halls.
I'm not optimistic.
Nice.
All right, what's the?
Deck the halls with bounds of holly. How's that song go? Whatever. All right, let's get into it.
All right. We're recording. We're starting. It's amazing. I love it. It is my absolute great pleasure to be talking with the stupendous, genre-bending, indie pop, electro pop band, Kid Smoko. One of my favorite groups out there. Just a bunch of amazing people and musicians. They've just dropped a new single called Come With Me featuring Mia Gladstone. And yeah, I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Like, what is this? Crazy. It's like the third time I'm interviewing you. That's so fucking wild.
Third time's the charm. We'll get something good.
That's what they say.
This is the good one.
No, I'm not a huge fan of how you described us.
Please.
Not a description that I enjoyed.
All right, please, you can revise my description if you'd like.
No, I'm gonna let the viewers come to their own conclusion. I don't want to.
I'm sorry. Did I over-describe?
I liked it.
I don't know. I just feel like you left out certain aspects that we do delve into.
Yes.
Like, and only focused on the indie and electronic side.
Yes. No, they do a lot of stuff, and we'll get into that. I promise.
We're very religious. We're a religious group. We believe in God, and that is reflected in our music and our art.
Absolutely. So if you guys just want to start off by introducing yourselves to my 700 subscribers, I think that would be
casual
That was
flex.
a
Oh
little
my
flex.
god.
Yeah, that was a little
700
power
subscribers.
Letting us know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
It's showing off over there.
Yes, sir.
Hey, oh my gosh, Mr. Big Time right there.
The number one hyperpop journalist in America.
Nah, should you say if you like hyperpop real quick, the way you did in the TikTok?
If you want to hear that, go check out the Sparky TikTok account and watch my ongoing series of hyperpop there, and you can hear what we said there.
No, you're plugging yourself a whole lot for an interview.
Yeah, this is hard for you, bro.
Shout out Sparky though, for real. I
Shout out Sparky.
I fuck with
Yeah,
like
Sparky is lit.
okay.
Big ups to Sparky.
This interview is gonna go to shit if each person can't finish what they say.
Yeah. Maybe we should some sort of system.
Anyway, yeah, what I was saying is I really like the work Sparky's been doing with like the harp outside performance videos. Those are sick.
No, Sparky's great. Shout out Sparky. Shout out Lou Goodman. Okay, but yeah, so if each one of you just sort of want to introduce yourself one by one, I think that'd be great.
Who's going first?
All right, Berkeley.
Am I going first?
Yeah, Sam, you go first.
Do I need your first and last name, or can I just do my first name?
Yeah, whatever floats your boat, man.
All right. My name is Sam Berkeley. I play guitar for Kid Smoko. I do a little bit of production these days. I'm trying to get my foot into that aspect of our world. That's pretty much it for me. Not too much else to it.
I guess I'll go next. I'm the other guitarist, Kid Smoko. I'm Declan Martens, as you can see on my tag there. I also have a solo project as Dectini. Check that out. Yeah.
Everyone's with the fucking plugs, bro. It's like you're gonna go.
Got to plug. I mean, we're on Sparky right now. Gotta plug while you're on Sparky.
This isn't Sparky. This is Noah Simon's show.
Noah Simon's show.
All the more
he's a
reason. I mean, he's
Sparky
got 700 subscribers. You gotta plug yourself.
Yeah,
It's a once in a lifetime sort of chance.
My name is Michael Burke, otherwise professionally known as Burke. I sing and write songs and rap for the band. I don't know. We all have our hand in like everything in the band. Like not one person just does one thing type of deal. So it's like jack of all trades. And yeah, I make solo music on the side sometimes, but my main focus is the band for sure.
Cool. Salort?
I'm Matt Salort, also known as Marty Fraud, also known as Marty Truffle Hunter on chess.com. I'm 1,000 rating in Rapid. I'm like a 700 in Blitz. I'll keep it going up. My chess scores are going up and getting better every day.
What openings do you use on chess?
Well, it depends. If I'm playing black, I'll probably use a Sicilian.
That's a classic.
That's a classic. And then what's the one with white where you do play D4 if they play at like whatever? After you play E4, then D4, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I now know how to beat you in every version of chess that we play, Matt. You've given away all your strategies.
And I sing in the band, and that's mostly what I do.
Great. Right, Ronnie. Wrap it up, man.
I'm Michael Ferranti, aka Ronzi.
Yeah, Ronzi.
Auntie,
Mostly I produce, play a couple instruments, mix and
Plays
master.
all the instruments.
That's it.
But yeah, I mean, you guys are fucking on the come up. I swear to God, it's really been great and awesome to like watch you guys just develop sonically and just as a group over the past several years. And I've had a great pleasure of being able to sort of witness that growth firsthand in a lot of ways. And I feel like your live show is really something to behold, at least for me. And one particular night that stands out to me was in 2019, you performed at McGill University at McGill's Open Air Pub, OAP in short, which is like this crazy school-sponsored outdoor bar event. Shout out Montreal's drinking age. And for me, that show like really completed the full entity or that I know of as Kid Smoko. Just watching you guys perform and experiencing like what that does to my body, like on a physiological level, is just insane. And even if it wasn't technically the most perfect show, your guys' energy is just so fucking contagious. And
Huh? What was that? What was that?
the interview's over.
Excuse me?
Smoko slander will not.
Bro, let's run that back over.
Yeah, no tolerance for
You
cursing.
got problems? You have
Start
problems?
the question. Start the question back
That was
from the beginning.
okay, hold
Start
on.
the question back from the top.
Wait,
No,
so
No, I just want to
I
know
feel like
what was wrong with the show.
Yeah,
no,
Matt, we
no,
were
no.
technically perfect.
I thought it
What
was
are you
pretty.
No
talking
mess
about?
ups.
It's Noah's channel. It's Noah's video. So let's just do what Noah says. We're just.
Oh, well, I'd say more or less went completely fine. There was some
More or less.
More or less.
there was some oxygen. There was
Okay. We definitely take pride in our live performances for sure, but like I wouldn't necessarily. We're definitely more of like a studio centric band than a live centric band. Like when we get together, we're not rehearsing. We're writing songs and producing new songs. So I think that when we do perform, because we don't get to perform very often, especially with COVID, we just like put everything into it. Like it's different, when a band is on tour and it's their job and they perform every night and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying when we go on tour, we'll be less passionate, but I just feel like when we do get to go on stage, especially like traveling to Canada all the way to Montreal, and the crowd at Montreal was so great and so responsive, we just like put everything into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's really obvious to me, and like I've never seen a bigger crowd at that stage at that event like in my life, in my entire time going to that event.
Mm-hmm.
People are
I know, for real though, shout out to that crowd at Montreal. You guys were the fucking best.
It was a great crowd.
I was about to say,
It was
Yeah.
such
for
a
a
good
crowd of people that big, I've never performed in front of in my life, and for those people to be that receptive to us, having no real knowledge of who we were, most of the people, was insane. For that to go.
randos came up to us.
Yeah,
after
it
the
was
show.
just-
so many.
Yeah.
Like more so
It was
than
That was
crazy.
insane.
there were a ton of people coming backstage.
Yeah,
And strangers too. It was great.
it is funny though that you bring up like the technical, maybe everything wasn't perfect. Like I don't know about the rest of these guys, but when I think about it, like I do like to try to be technically really good. But I mean, like I'm not the best guitarist in the world, and I'm still learning how to perform as we go along. So I pride myself on, I mean, if I'm getting most of the notes right, but if I'm doing that while displaying this level of energy that we all have, that is more important to me than the rest of anything else. I would rather just have people feel like they're performing with us almost. I want it to be a collective experience. I don't necessarily stress about the technical aspect as much. Obviously, I want it to sound good, but I think the energy in the room is more important than anything else, for sure. To me,
Well said,
It's
Sam.
fun.
I think it's almost low-key kind of like a microcosm for like the band as a whole, in that like our music, like not that it's not technical, we definitely have like a lot of complicated stuff in our music, but we definitely care more about the feeling that our music gives off and like portraying a certain mood or a certain style than we do like the minutia of the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I wasn't trying to throw shade. That was, I guess, maybe that was a slight backhanded compliment, but that wasn't the intent. Like I think your live shows are great, and like you haven't had the opportunity to perform that much. So even if my point was, even if all the little kinks that go into making a live show haven't necessarily been totally worked out, I think it doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't make a difference because still such a fucking great time. And I don't know, like looking back on that show in particular, like a year and a half later, like, do you feel like that kind of like solidified something for you guys, or like made you like become aware of like what is happening?
Can I answer this one real quick?
Yeah.
I can actually
All right,
also.
no,
Yeah,
Matt,
no,
We're all gonna have
I've
we're all gonna have the same answer.
I saw
Okay,
Matt.
yeah.
I saw Matt do this last round.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
All right. So what's really funny about this experience is OAP was such a rush, such a high, performing in front of like 100 people. You know, we feel great.
It's like 1,000
And then-
people.
Yeah, well then
There's
the
a couple
next-
hundred.
And then the next weekend was really like a bring down to earth sort of moment because we performed at Skidmore in Saratoga Springs, and we were the opener for Naked Giants, who's like a professional touring band, and they toured with like whatever some other bigger bands.
Ouch.
Of course,
And,
they
so,
had us.
and the whole
Yeah,
time when we were before the show, we're like, oh, we're gonna outperform the headliners. Like we're so good. Like everybody's gonna love our shit. Like they're gonna like, oh, they should have given us all the money, but whatever. So anyway, we go and we get completely blown out of the water, and it was like one of the wildest experience. It was like it felt like a Scott Pilgrim moment because it was like we just did our set, thought we did well, but also wasn't great. And then we had no bass, so that really sort of fucked us from the jump a little bit. That was rough.
No bass guitar.
No bass. And then we watched them go, and then they're fucking incredible. And like the mosh was out of this world, insane. And we were like, wow, like we got shown up. Like this is pro versus amateur, and like we have our work cut out for us for sure.
Wait,
Hopefully.
Josh, to go back to your question though about the OAP show.
Yeah, I mean, not every show is going to be the best, especially when you're sort of just starting out. But you know, maybe OAP sort of like showed the potential of what you could be. I'm curious, like, if that show in some ways was kind of revelatory. It was for me revelatory in terms of like what you guys can bring to a live performance. I don't know if just as your own perception as a group, as a unit, like I don't know if that experience like solidified something for you guys.
When I was on stage there, like it was absolutely like just like the production level, everything, like the lights, like the sound system, like the crowd. It was like something so much above anything we've done. But the craziest thing was like when I was up there, like it didn't feel like weird. It just felt like something like I felt like normal to me almost. I felt like something I knew I should be doing. You know what I mean? It felt very natural in a way.
So I have the cringiest video of all time on my Snapchat memories. I filmed myself after that show, and I was definitely fairly drunk at that point. But I filmed myself. I have it right here. I'm scared to play it on camera, but I'm the whole gist of this 15-second video of myself is just I'm literally saying to the camera like I can't do anything else in my life. Like this has to be what I do for the remainder of like my time on this earth. Like I was like, if I'm not doing shows like this, then there's like no point, basically. That was what I was saying to myself.
I have to be in the band. I have to. I can't do nothing regular with my life, bro. I have to be in the band. I have to, bro.
Because after that, I knew. And it was like, I think Frankie said it the best. It was like, leading up to it, at least for me, I was like, whoa, this is like a lot of people. Like, I was definitely a little nervous. I was like, this is crazy. And then we actually got up there and started doing the sound check thing. And like, I was looking out at everybody. And like, we started the first song and I was like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to go. Like, I was like, this is where I'm at. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So that was definitely the show for me where I was like, this is the way we got to go. You know, that set it off for me too. So I'm glad that you agree with that.
So with that said, then, you know, it's been a pretty devastating year for live shows this past year. So like how frustrating has it been? Like, especially knowing how rowdy it can get. Like how like frustrating has it been not being able to get on stage?
Very frustrating.
It like hurts.
I think also like a lot of times performing is almost like inspiration for us to get in the studio and make more music. Without that boost that we get from performing, it's kind of like not, I don't know, it's just kind of like I like flattening. I don't know if that like
It's like disheartening a little bit. Sorry to step in.
disheartening.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, it makes me thankful that we're not farther along than we are now. Because like if we were like a little bit further in like clout and like actually had like prospective touring, then this would have been like a truly devastating time.
Yeah, it's like sunk the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it
like our moment,
like it would have been over. Like we would, and so it makes me think like it almost feels like fate in a way. Like it's not like our time is coming.
Yeah.
Right. The momentum.
We're making us lazy, God.
Yeah.
So then when live shows come back, I'm very curious that like what is like a dream show for you? Like what's a big budget Kid Smoko live show look like?
Super Bowl halftime.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
Okay, but what does that look like?
Yeah.
Structurally,
That's
come out,
like,
so it's like dark smoke lights. We come out from the stage like massive synth, like
Everybody's butt naked. Everybody on stage is fucking naked as shit.
grease up to the max.
visuals, everything.
We have
3D,
like there's rain. There's rain all over the crowd. It's like a tropical forest in the.
I want everyone to be too greasy to hold on to anything that they're supposed to be holding on to.
And the floors are lubed
Certainly
up.
have to be greased up.
You can't stand. Like it is impossible to stand up for more than like 2 seconds.
All of the seats in the arena taken out for sure.
Yeah, of course.
One big
No,
mosh pit.
no one is
No
no one
seating.
is using
No one's
sitting on their
allowed to
butt.
sit.
No one's allowed to
sit
sit, for
ever.
sure.
Absolutely not.
That is the ideal show. Everyone on their feet moshing.
I'm definitely. Sorry, I was gonna say something real quick. I'm definitely excited for like when we do, or if we do go on tour, like to have the ability to be like knowing we're going on tour, having like a month or so to prepare. Because whenever we have done shows, we've had like 3 days to rehearse for it. So like it'll be really nice to like actually know we're going on tour and like almost work on our live set like we would an album, because our live set's been very thrown together. But like to actually make it into a show rather than just a performance would be really fun. And I think it's something.
Yeah, literally like hours before, and also like we had done some shows in Philly with like 20-30 people before OAP.
Yeah, some
just
basements and things like that.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like being a kid and like going to like Terminal 5 and like seeing all my like even if we got to Terminal 5, honestly, that would be amazing. But like, going to like the Prudential Center, growing up in the Garden, obviously, being from outside New York, those are like, that's like a dream. But even if we got to Terminal 5, where I've seen like Playboy Cardi and fucking a lot of my other people that
I think we saw Mac
like,
Miller at Terminal 5. Bro.
Yeah, we saw Mac Miller at Terminal 5 too.
Yep.
He brought out Ja Rule, and nobody knew who Ja Rule was. I was the only one in the crowd.
And Michael Christmas.
And everyone was like, "Who the fuck is Ja Rule?" I was like,
Michael Christmas was unreal.
Yeah, Michael Christmas was
also.
dope. You know who else was there?
Cousin Stiz.
Cousin Stiz.
Great.
Yeah.
Shout out Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Shout out Truman Green. You guys released music pretty slowly. It was only 2 songs last year, Like Me Now and So Bad. And now with Come With Me, that's just 3 songs in the span of a whole year. And I feel like that's almost in the face of, or conflicts with sort of the model that streaming services sort of encourage artists to release music by. And in the sense that they believe that the way to really gain momentum in today's musical landscape is release a shit ton of music constantly. And I think you guys are kind of almost bold and brave almost by kind of being resistant to that. And from a listener's perspective, I appreciated it amazing, and I appreciate it so much because one, I get really hyped every single time a song drops, more so than other artists I listen to. I know that's the case for your other fans as well. It's like an event when a Kid Smoko song drops. And I think that's something that people kind of miss out on when when an artist is constantly dropping music. And also I feel like in my mind, I also know that the product is probably going to be the best as it possibly can be, instead of you guys rushing out different songs. And I'm also always surprised. That's the other amazing part about it. Each new song, it's like I'm listening to a new band from a genre aesthetic perspective. And I know that's sort of been an intention for you guys, but yet there always is sort of something that gets retained from song to song. There's always it's always super catchy. just like they're great pop songs, great pop songwriting, regardless of what style you're experimenting with. It always feels distinctly Kid Smoko. So I don't know, like for you guys, like what do you think that thing is? What is it that specific thing that you guys think you bring from song to song, even as the sonic framework changes?
I think
Go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like if you're just making the music that you want to make, something consistent is going to be there regardless of what type of shit you're making. Like you're trying to make a song, like of course sometimes we're like, oh, I want to make a song like this person, but we're still being ourselves with the music. You know what I mean? So like we don't like it's not something you really try to do, but like there's always going to be something about it that's kind of similar, just because we're the same people always making the music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of the same thing. I think it's just like what I was talking about before, like how we want to like portray, a specific feeling or blah blah blah. Like I think the thing that remains, like not to sound like corny, is like authenticity. You know what I mean? Like we really want to like if we're delving into a new genre, we want to make like the most authentic music of that genre to ourselves, Maddie Healy coined the term, and I'm just using it, but like we kind of like to create how we consume, so like we're always like someone's hitting the chat like, yo, listen to this, yo, like we're always just trying to like match that feeling.
I
think
it's. Oh, sorry. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Well, I'm just saying, I think our music is just generally like reflective of our tastes, and like I don't know, I get bored with music after a while, like certain types of music. I can only listen to some genre for only so long because it gets too much after a while. So it's almost like I almost sort of envy, having a genre that you can just make music in, because it's a little bit more of like a box that makes things a little bit simpler. Because like, oh, I only have to make things in this style, but like then it's a different level of complication, because like you have to be super formulaic, but you also have to be super creative within the formula in order to make something really good. So like we have like a little bit more leeway with that, in terms of we can just do whatever we want and try and make it like whatever genre sound good. But then also like when you have like a wide open box, it's really difficult to like wrangle yourself in, or like decide this is the direction we're going to go in. But we don't really want to go full in this direction, because like we want to make rap songs too, and we want to do this. So it's like, but then at the end of the day, when you have two vocalists, I feel like that brings a similar, like a consistent dynamic to every song too. So like that aspect.
I want something to, sorry, read.
No, I'm done.
I just want to add on something Matt really said about like some artists only working in one genre. When you're kind of stuck in one genre and you have to follow up that like amazing first project, it's like kind of really hard, and it's often disappointing in some ways. So I think working in different genres just gives us the ability to like it's almost like a cheat in a way to like keep our music fresh, because it's easy just to take characteristics from something else and immediately make our stuff sound different.
It is funny because I feel like there is a branding challenge to that by doing what you do, and it's somehow you and that's what's really impressive to me. It somehow works though at the end of the day from just a presentation standpoint. It's very kind of awesome, and it's like a journey you're bringing your fans on at the same time. So it's really cool. And for this new song, "Come With Me," it really dabbles kind of, not that you haven't dabbled in these sort of genres in the past, but very explicitly dabbling in sort of R&B, some neo soul, with some synth pop, electro pop, hyper pop, maybe a little bit of hyper pop.
I was waiting for it.
Oh, we do have a very hyper pop song that's like in tandem with that.
No,
we'll see.
There is some hyper pop element. I think like the initial glitch of Mia's vocals when it comes in is definitely sort of some hyper pop. The bleeps and bloops, the bass line that goes with and then there's some hyper pop.
Hyper pop.
Yeah, hyper pop. But but it still sounds like you. But in many ways, it also sounds very much like a Mia Gladstone song. So I'm just kind of curious, like, was it fun trying to incorporate her sound into your guys' typical songwriting process? And like, was that even an intentional thing, or did it sort of just happen naturally?
Naturally. She also
It was
produced
super- it
it.
was-
She was the one who laid down the first chords. So like,
Yeah, I was gonna.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
people
Francis.
don't give Mia the credit she deserves. Like she's a crazy producer.
hmm She came in and we
She
were
came
like,
in and, yeah, she just shat out.
we were like
gold.
trying to workshop ideas, and she was being super friendly like usual, and was very down to try to create something herself, and just jumped on Francis' keyboard and was messing around with sounds and some chords and stuff. And she eventually, like Francis said, she was the one who played the initial chord, the chords for the song. So it was pretty easy to incorporate her. Like she's also very amenable. She knows what she likes. She knows the sounds that she likes. So it was easy for her to pick something out like that and to be able to work off of what we were doing, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, vocally, she did her thing on it too. Like,
For real.
I think Matt and I were just kind of trying to follow in her footsteps a little bit. Like, she set the tone, you know.
The first time that I walked into the room and heard, like, I think it was her background vocals on her verse, I was like, yeah, this is something else. I was like, this is crazy.
She actually didn't even like the "Come With Me" hook. Like wasn't even a hook. Like she recorded like a 45-second verse, and then like that was at the end of it. She was just kind of like riffing. And I was like, that shit's tough. And then we edited it together. We like literally based the whole song around her verse. And then yeah, I was a little worried that like she wouldn't want us to like cut up her verse and change it
Yeah,
into.
and then we're like, do you want to add anything else? She's like, nope.
Yeah.
Done. Nope, we're done. Sounds good.
No, but I mean, you guys, Laura and Burke, you guys both very much hold your own. I mean, Mia she's coming up. She's
For sure.
doing her thing, and
She's got the buzz.
yeah, she's got some
She does.
major heat, as the industry likes to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe some minor heat, or whatever the in between those two are.
If you're watching this and haven't heard about her new EP, Cycles, go check that shit out. That's just fire.
Very
Yeah,
good.
that shit goes dummy.
I forget which song.
Very good.
One of the songs got shouted out by the Gorillas for some.
Gorillas,
go.
Yeah,
That's-
that was
I
insane.
think it
That's one of my
was-
favorite
No, I think it
songs.
was Food, bro. I think it was Food.
Yeah.
Really?
That
I
got
thought it was
shouted out
Go.
by the Gorillas.
Oh.
I
It
think
might
you,
have
I thought it
been.
was
Either way, Go is a banger.
Yeah,
Go is a crazy banger.
Go is a banger.
Go listen to that EP. Go
Go's a
listen to that
banger.
song particularly. That song is insane.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
yeah,
always nuts.
I do think, even given that, I think you guys held your own in terms of your own performances. I feel like melodically,
Thank you.
so, I don't know, man. I was actually talking to Safrani too. It's like that song is still great, and I'd be curious, sir, your thought process on this, Ronnie. Like the vocal performances are great, but then the way that they're layered too is just so like in my ears. I'm just like,
That I'm not really doing like the vocalists are doing the layering. I'm really just like mixing it. That's more on them than me.
Burke's really the one who inspires me to layer my shit, because like when I first started as a vocalist, I would just do one take and I was like, yep, that's good. Don't need a BGs or anything. Like that's fine. And so like now I've definitely been more so incorporating backgrounds and harmonies into my
yeah,
arrangements.
I feel like a lot of like songwriters, when they're writing a song, they think about it very linearly. You know what I mean? Like I write this verse, this hook, blah blah blah. I think we personally like to think of it more like vertically. Like you build, like instead of like writing the whole song and then adding other stuff afterwards, we build it as it goes, like that. And a lot of times, like a crappy verse, crappy hook with like really good arrangement is really good, and a really good hook with crappy arrangement sucks. You know what I mean? So like that honestly like is the most important part of writing songs, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean that's awesome, and I think like that you guys have sort of latched onto a songwriting philosophy is like what has got you to this point in the first place. Like you guys have that skill each to like create that versatile experience from a listener's perspective, that pop versatile experience where you're just like, you want to keep listening, like it becomes a very earwormy familiar thing and makes you want to keep listening while also being very sonically sort of interesting, and all these sort of different elements being incorporated into that structure. It's fucking great. And So yeah, no, it's a great song. Everyone should go check it out. It should be out at this point. So if everyone go listen to that song, if you haven't.
Music video coming out soon, if depending on the release.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Yeah. So the question was sort of asking kind of like what you think you bring from song to song, as even at, you know, there's so much space in between each song, and you kind of were able to bring your own distinct sound to along the way.
Yeah, I would say the space between songs like isn't necessarily like a choice, like something that we do on purpose. It's kind of hard sometimes, especially during the school year when a lot of us have other things on our plates and are doing, like, for a long time we're in different locations. It's hard to, you know, finish songs like that. Like we were like ashamed that we only put out 2 songs in 2020. You know what I mean? Like 2020 was a shitty year for everybody and it was hard to be productive, but like we have a lot of songs that are coming out this year. So like we're making up for it next year. And I mean, definitely like there's a quantity or quality over quantity aspect too, where like we want to make sure the songs are good if we're releasing them. But still, we have a lot more than 2 songs dropping this year. So on the lookout.
That is
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say was that it definitely was not intentional, like a plan, like, oh, we're only going to drop 2 songs.
Yeah.
No, it's just what happens. Just what happens.
Yeah. They said everything I was gonna say. So
No, it works out though. It doesn't work.
Also, specifically with the Mia song though, we just had to wait for like release schedule because she was like dropping her EP and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, that is we, you know, whenever we always have a very limited time when we are together. So you know.
So Laura, you gotta.
I can't look at this kid, bro.
I'm sorry. What's wrong? What's wrong?
Talking about limited time over there.
What's wrong?
Like, come on, come out of the shadows. Come out of the shadows.
Wait,
Yeah, like a
what's-
lot of
what's wrong?
times during winter break, it's like, okay, we have 2 to 4 weeks together. Like,
Yeah.
let's, you know, make as much as we can.
Yeah.
So like it definitely gets
And
challenging.
Yeah, literally like every
and even
time.
within that,
Sorry.
even within like if we know we have like a couple weeks or months or whatever together, even within that span of time, people are working, people are doing school related stuff. Like, so even throughout the day, it's hard to get together.
Yeah, it's
I
really
just look
about,
at this kid mad again.
it's about making the most. It's about making most of the.
Make every second count.
I think the next time, once we have this back catalog released, I think the next time we get together and make music, because we're all not together right now, will be some different shit.
So what was the most fun song for you guys to make? Like, what's your favorite that you guys have?
That's out. That's
Closure.
released.
That's out. What was the most fun for you guys?
Closure was not fun. Closure was a
That's a really hard question.
Closure
Closure
Closure was like
fun
writing
to
an
make.
essay.
I immediately
I wouldn't
thought
say
about
that
it.
was
Tommy
funny.
Boy was the most fun because it was so easy.
Yeah,
Tommy Boy, yeah.
started
Tommy
like
Boy
I
was
didn't-
so fucking easy.
I didn't want to say Tommy Boy because I feel like that was such a quick process.
It was so quick and it was a banger right away. So
I
it
can't
was
even
like
call it
it
fun
was,
to me
it
because
was
I
the
barely
easiest
remember
song.
making it.
It was
Yeah,
the
so, like,
easiest
whole
song
thing.
of all.
I was gonna say the demo for that was almost complete. The only thing that got effects were taken off and relayered in different orders, and then vocals were put on, and the song was pretty much completed. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but like in terms of a song with a process, I don't know. Sorry.
Dennis
Really like
Talks Mas-
making-
No, I was
like
interrupting
making
you.
Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis and Talks Masculinity are both like super easy and quick and fun to make also. And like that's the type of song like that we'd export like a very rough version and like go bump in the car and like have a lot of fun just listening to it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Burke, do you? Oh, sorry, Declan, go.
What?
Were you
No,
gonna say
I'm
something?
good.
Oh, sorry. Burke, do you still disavow Tommy Boy? Do you still disavow it?
I mean, I did that as a joke. Like it's kind of like just like what Matt was saying, like being put in boxes. I don't want us to be put in that Tommy Boy box. And that's really it. Like obviously I love Tommy Boy. I still listen to it all the time, but I just don't want people to think that that's the only type of stuff that we do.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
Yeah,
nice.
I mean,
that
I
song
said-
gets crazy recognition though. That's great. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Or-
it's
Yeah,
it's
somebody
always-
somebody
it's hard
made a
to believe.
fucking somebody made a slowed and reverb version of it.
It's really
It's
hard to
like,
believe.
Yeah, that was
you know you
lit.
made it.
It
yeah.
doesn't feel real.
I get-
Like, I'm looking
Like,
at it right
every,
now,
yeah,
500,000 plays and like that
it
doesn't
doesn't
mean,
feel
like,
real.
Doesn't mean
It does
anything
not
to me.
feel
Like,
real.
what's-
Doesn't mean
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild. It's wild though. 500,000 streams.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. We're
Crazy.
great. We're really grateful. If you listen to our music,
Absolutely.
we're really grateful. Seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
most
I-
people never
yeah.
even get this far. Like it's really it's
Dude, I was short story. The place I'm currently working, one of my coworkers also in a band, and we were talking to each other about both of our respective bands. and he was like asking me about shows that we've done, and I was asking him vice versa. So we were showing each other both of our Spotify pages, and like he was showing me his most popular songs. He's like, "Yeah, our most popular songs got like probably like 1,000 plays, something like that." And I was like, "Oh, like our song has got like 500,000 plays right now, I think, or something like that." And I go to like pull up my phone, and I'm looking at it, and it, even in the moment when I had said it out loud to him, it still didn't even feel like real. Like I went to look at it, and I was like, "Wow, like this song, like whoa, like we really." Had that many people listening to the song and still listening to it, and it's like,
yeah, it's almost
I
like
won't lie. I won't lie and act like I wasn't confident in that song when we were making it. I was like, people are gonna like this. I was like, this is gonna be cool.
I wasn't even
But
really thinking about other people liking it. Like I never even considered that a lot of like I was just like, this is a great song.
It was just another Smoko
Yeah, I
song
love this.
at the
This is fun to
time.
bump in the
Yeah.
whip. This is great to bump in the
I
car.
liked it.
It's a fun song.
Yeah. I liked it, and I was like, this is a good song. And then I look up, and like 500,000 plays. I'm like, unreal that there's that many people who are listening to it and care about us and care about our music. Like it's truly mind blowing to think about.
Sam, that I've had similar experiences. It's almost like a dick measuring contest where you're like, well, I have like,
Yeah.
they show you how many streams they have. It's like, well, I have this many streams.
And the worst part was like we were both being genuine, and I wasn't trying to like flex or anything like that. And it was unfortunate that he went first and was saying that, because I was like, it would have been easier if I just said everything and he could have just been like, whatever. But he was like, check this out. Now you show me. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I'm not gonna not do it, but like,
I think plays are easy because of playlists and algorithms, but what's hard is followers and converting casual listeners into
Yeah.
fans.
Right.
absolutely.
That's something
Anybody can get lucky and get 1 million plays.
Yeah.
Like
So I was having an interesting conversation with somebody, and they were saying like that's such a product of the streaming model in a Spotify, and that it doesn't encourage listeners and consumers to actually care about the artist and the band. It's such a, you listen to a song, you stream a song on to the next thing.
At the same time, though, at least you're getting exposure to people who otherwise.
Yeah.
Would.
Also, it's not to talk about something you mentioned before, with like how us doing different genres might make it harder for us in some ways.
Yeah.
I've actually I've been worried at some points, like if the Spotify algorithms are going to recommend our music to people based off Tommy Boy, which is a very indie song, so they can recommend our newer music to people who like indie stuff, and we come out with like a rap song. Is that going to affect that rap song's ability to get on like Discover Weekly? You know what I mean?
Right.
Mhm.
No, it's really tough. It's really tough. And
Whatever, just do us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make music that we like, so I don't even really.
It's a crapshoot anyway. Like you gotta
Yeah.
get lucky at the end of the day anyway. So it's like you might as well just do what you like.
Every time you drop music, it's just like rolling the dice.
Yeah.
such a double-edged sword. Spotify. It's such a. On one hand, it's like, what a great service that platforms all these artists,
100%.
small artists, giving everyone a chance. But then, it's also they're making money off you guys while paying you.
At the same time, though, it's better than the old way. It's better than the old way.
Yeah.
Where you had to get a deal to release music to any.
Yeah, that's true.
Like now, you can make your
Yeah.
own music and release it, and people will hear it. And that's
Yeah.
way better than how it used to be.
one of
Regardless
the
of how you're getting exploited now.
I think one of the negative effects though is like, and I'm a victim of this too. Like it's kind of giving people in general the idea that like paying $10 for like literally everyone's music a month is like normal, or you know what I mean? I'm having a hard time explaining myself.
I understand what you're saying. It
Yeah.
devalues.
It devalues the music,
art.
exactly.
This kid Ronti doesn't have a favorite artist or band or anything. This kid is like.
I've had this conversation with him too many times.
It's just floating in space.
The kid doesn't feel passionate about anything.
Create more than you consume. That's a classic Ferranti MO. I feel like, and I get it.
Consume more though, I think.
I do. There's a balance. There's definitely a balance between. I think it is. I think for me, taking that philosophy helped me start being more productive. Bouncing off our one desire to get philosophical yesterday in the chat. Here's a kind of a question. It's been a tough year for a lot of people, and for me, it's kind of forced me to be very introspective about the world, where I see myself in it, and sort of where I see myself in relation to the people around me. And, I've been overall very privileged to not having really gotten affected by the virus on like a deeply personal level, which is such a privilege to have been given. And in that sense, there were some silver linings for me in terms of how my life has changed, throughout this past tumultuous year. So I'd be sort of curious, like were there any silver linings for you guys throughout this pandemic that sort of gotten you through this experience?
I feel like for me, what's interesting is like, I live like a half hermit lifestyle anyway. So like in some ways this sort of like was like ideal conditions for me. Like, cause like I can be a hermit when I need to, but it was definitely too much. It was too much time.
Too much hermit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I had like, I definitely was personally affected by it. Like my family members all got it. And I know so many people that got it, but thank God, like nothing happened and they were all fine. But like, I don't know. I definitely still got to enjoy this year from like going to the Maine with everybody.
Yeah,
going
that
to
was
the
like,
cabin.
yeah.
That was sort of like a nice saving grace of this time, was to be out in the woods and in a cabin with.
Oh yeah, all 5 of us got to be together.
It was
Yeah.
great. Like
The
that
fellas.
was a
That
great
was
time.
insane.
And I also got
Yeah.
to go to Boston for my last semester there, and I'm also in LA now, so I've been lucky to.
Your mats are flying around.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's
Been
good.
not so for a
It
year.
doesn't sound great. I've been cautious still. I've definitely been not going out and being crazy and shit, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just think like it's also like it's gonna be over at some point, and it'll be such a blip in our lives. And like catastrophes have happened all the time throughout human history. It's just we're just living through one, so it feels very like, oh my God, the world is
Mhm.
over. But humans have felt the world has been over at many points in time. Like after 9/11, I'm sure people were like, oh, like the world's fucked. Like we'll never go back to normal. And same thing with like the Vietnam War and like the whole period in the 70s and 60s. But like, things keep chugging on, and I'm just trying to enjoy life while I'm still alive. So that's
I would say
Yeah.
personally, I definitely like with Matt, like I was staying in a lot before the pandemic, but that wasn't necessarily good. I was like isolating, just kind of like heading down a really bad path. And I don't know, I just feel like the pandemic has given me time to like self-reflect and I don't know, just like adjust the way that my life was going. The way that my life was going, I was like going nowhere fast. So yeah, I'm grateful that it gave me the ability to like take a step back and like really work on myself while not missing out on too much. If that makes sense.
I feel like for me, I think it's made me realize like not only that I am incredibly lucky, but just I'm like the top tier of incredibly lucky. Like people have lost family members. Some people have lost their whole families. Some people have been personally affected by everything that's happened on a level that I can't even imagine. Knock on wood, no one close to me that I can think of off the top of my head has even gotten COVID. And if it has, it's been a small amount of people. And people have lost jobs. I've gained a job. I get to still come home every day to my entire family. I've gotten myself into physically good shape throughout quarantine, which some people can't afford to do. Like it's really everything. I think, like Michael just said, he's got the ability to step back and kind of look out at everything that I'm doing and everything that my family's doing and my friends are doing, and to really realize the amount of luck that goes into that and the amount of privilege that I truly have in this world. Like it's something that's easy to overlook for your entire life. Really, it's something that you don't ever have to think about, and that's what makes it a privilege. But I think this has kind of forced me to look at myself and the people around me, and just the whole world, and to think that like I'm in a small percentage of humans who are going through this with only honestly like mental complications. I'm just losing my mind, going a little crazy, living at home with my family, and not being able to see friends. There are people who have experienced far worse aspects of this, and have lost a lot more than I can ever even imagine. So it's forced me to look at that and just to realize the level of luck and privilege that I really have to carry on the way that I have, So it's a blessing. It really is. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. That's kind of what I was gonna say. Like, kind of like just like a more shallow silver line to go back to your question. Like, I've been able to save up money over the past year that I probably wouldn't have had. So now going to the next phase of my life, I think I'm probably more prepared than I would have been, just in terms of my bank account.
Yeah, that was actually the same for me. You know, I held down my summer job. I didn't spend any of that, and then I used that to give me some cushion to move out to Los Angeles. So definitely for sure. But yeah, so then like, where do you guys find purpose in this life? I feel like that's something that I've thought a lot about, you know, over this year.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
as an individual, as a musician, like whatever, like where do you find that and how?
Yeah, I was actually about to say, like, kind of goes into what you were just asking, like this last pandemic, as corny and whatever as this will sound, like this time has kind of made me more so realize that life is genuinely short and like you can unexpected, like things can end in a blink of an eye, like you might as well do what you want to do and like have fun with like what you're doing. Like why would you, like, I don't know, like there's no reason to go do like try to make as much money as you can to like do what your parents want you to do. Like go out and do what's fun. Like who gives a fuck? Like you could die tomorrow. Like why wouldn't you go live your life, you know?
It's gotta
That's
get
we're gonna like or like all planning on moving out to LA and like within the next month or so, like just to like go out there, like move on, like start doing something new with our lives, you know? There's no point in like
gotta get jiggy with it for sure.
It sounds like super corny too, but like
No,
it's
absolutely.
true.
Not at all.
I agree.
That kind of answers Noah's next question for me.
I was gonna say that, and then you asked that too. So
yeah, the whole idea of like finding a purpose is like this right here. This is it. Like I've discovered really, I already knew, like I was telling you before, after OAP and whatever, I knew that this was it. But this is really giving me like the perspective that this is it. Like if I want to do something that is fun for me and to chase after one dream right now that I can look back on no matter how it goes and know that that's me doing what I wanted to do, this is it. This is, you know.
So I definitely
for us, like this is something that's feasible. Like this is something that is within our grasp that
I was thinking
we can do if we like put our minds to it.
Like the other night, I was just thinking, I was like, damn, like I really truly believe we and me and myself have the capability to make this successful. But the thing is that comes with the assumption, not the assumption, like that means that if we're not successful, it's because we didn't work hard enough. So like that kind of fear of failure scares me in the sense that I know if I don't make it, I'm going to be looking back and be like, damn, I should have been grinding harder. Because I know that we have the ability. And I know we're decently connected. Yeah. We have a decent platform already. So we just got to grind because I don't want to look back.
It's on us.
Yeah, I don't want to look back in a couple of years and be like, shit. It's not like I can't blame myself. I can't blame anyone else, but just my ability to work because I know that we have the ability to make something out of this, you know? Yeah. So I'm going to try to turn that fear of failure and motivate myself. But then again, the days are still short, bro. Like I sleep in, I fuck around for a couple hours and the day is over. I'm like, what did I really even do today? So I'm really trying to make a fundamental change in my life to make my days more productive. I gotta figure out how to do that.
Yeah. It's like you even just work a little bit every day for a year. And then all of a sudden you've done a lot. So it's like,
yeah, that's one thing like I've like, in terms of like purpose in life, I've just been like really, I don't know, appreciative of the fact that like I've throughout my life I've been really bad at like sticking with things, because usually it's like I function in a way if I'm not immediately good at something, then I feel like most people are like this, but like if I'm not immediately good at something, I'm gonna give up. Or if like I keep trying something and it doesn't work, I'm gonna give up. And I don't know, it's just like with production, I guess it's been really fulfilling to like hit a point where I'm like, wow, I'm really seeing the fruits of my labor. Like I've been working at this shit for a while and I've gotten better and I'm getting better. And like, I don't know, that sort of like the feeling of getting better at something is how I'm finding purpose now. Like before I would never accept the challenge of like, if you suck at something, you have to keep sucking until you're good. And like, I would never be down to accept the suckage. But now I'm all for it. Now I want to suck at something until I'm good at it. And like
chess.
Like chess is like a slot. Chess has honestly been great in terms of like figuring out a work ethic. Like, because chess, in order to become better, you have to suck at it for long periods of time and you have to lose until you finally break through. And that's like the same thing with any skill. It's like if you have to work constantly at it and you have to suck at it and you can make shit until it finally starts getting good. And
Yeah.
then-
You know,
Finally.
that was my biggest silver lining problem. I don't know my biggest, but one of the biggest, like I didn't have, like, I had the time to just suck at something. I can just do, I have this spare time, especially towards the beginning of everything. I was like, I'll just do a thing. I might as well just fucking do it. And like, I try to learn stuff. And it's put me in like a mindset in which it's become exciting to try to learn stuff and go through through the grind of early days of being bad at something. It's become more of an exciting thing than like a daunting thing. It's still daunting, but not as it's still frustrating, but not to the point where. But that kind of is all part of the excitement at the same time. So that's for me. It was like it's fucking crazy. Like in May or whatever, I started on my video essay. So I just have this. I'll just do it. And honestly, you guys just motivating me too. Like really motivating me to just do it. And then it's like, okay, I can just do it now because I have this time. And my entire life has altered in a different direction because of that. So it's crazy to think like that.
We're all proud of you, Noah.
Yeah.
You have more views than Smoko.
Up to you, dude.
Yeah. Well,
we're both going up.
Yeah. We're coming up together.
We're going up together.
Yeah. So bulldozing forward into 2021. What do you guys want to see happen this year? What's the ideal way this year unfolds for Kid Smoko?
Progress.
Release more music.
Yeah.
Release
That's
more
really
music, get more streams, get more follow, like just everything growing, everything up.
Yeah. We can't
Continue on the trend that we're already on.
Too hard to set a certain follower goal. I mean, maybe we should, but like, I just want to keep dropping music and keep
growing,
keep the traction.
Keep establishing ourselves.
I just wanna,
Expand on what we got and make it bigger. And
I just want to stay like excited, like always. Like
Yeah.
that's a hard thing to do, you know. But I just want to be like happy with what I'm doing, kind of.
Absolutely. And so what's next then? What can we expect? What can we know that we can expect?
A lot of new shit.
Music,
Lots of
music.
A lot of new music, a lot of new videos.
skate
We've been
video.
holding out for a very good reason.
Kid
We
Smoko
got
skate team.
shit. We're sitting on shit.
yeah, we will be making up for the 2-song performance of the last year. Trust me.
Prolific Smoko is coming.
Absolutely.
The prolific era of Smoko.
Without being too much, though. Like we're gonna drop a lot, but it's not gonna be too much for you to handle.
For sure.
Tasteful prolificness.
It might be too much for some people.
No, it'll be just enough.
No,
Too
yeah.
much for Nosh. Too much for Nosh, though.
What do you mean too much for me? I get so excited. Yeah, he's gonna
Nosh has no threshold.
None.
I'm
Well,
not.
it's a lot for us, but like I mean, in the relative spectrum of how much it is, it's like not that much.
Yeah. True.
Well, it's gonna be awesome.
Nosh, ask you, Nosh, what is your favorite Kid Smoko song?
Oh,
And why?
Fuck.
Rank the whole discography. One.
Okay, should I rank? Should I just rank?
Yeah, what's one? At least a couple. Starting with one though.
Top 5.
Okay, so if I'm being just completely honest, I don't listen to Not Your Son.
Neither do I. That's okay.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
And it's got good songs on there, but so I put that on the bottom.
So do I.
Me too.
You got me on that one too.
I'd rather that you say number one is Can't Hear or Catalan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's how we want it.
So going
Not gonna be on the bottom.
going from there, bottom up,
Oh,
and
shit.
that, and then it's kind of tough because from there they're all kind of like,
Well, yeah, they're all
Alright.
singles, so it's like you're gonna rank every single.
yeah, but then they all kind of rank pretty near each other. So take this with a grain of salt. But from Not Your Son, it'd go probably Insecure to
Fair.
Toxic Masculinity.
A little too toxic for Nosh.
No, it's a great song. It's a big. Dennis,
Interesting.
Digital Holiday.
Okay.
What is that? Like number 4?
Tommy Boy.
I thought that was gonna be your number 1.
Tommy Boy Closure So Bad.
Oh.
No.
Isn't that cool?
Where's Like Me Now?
Oh, Like Me. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's sorry. It's not in my app. It's under the Kid Smoko on sale. I forgot about Like Me Now. Yeah. So Like Me Now. Oh shit. Okay. So let me actually. So fucking Toxic Masculinity, and then Dennis, and then I'd say Digital Holiday. Then Tommy. Then Digital Holiday. Fucking hard, man. I loved it. I love all of them. Yeah. Digital Holiday, Closure, So Bad, and Tommy Boy, and Like Me Now are kind of all the same.
Where does Come With Me fit in there?
Oh right.
The new one.
I don't know. It's grown on me.
That's out. That's
It's
out
grown
right
on me
now.
quite a bit, even since I first listened to it. I really like it. It's really good. It's a really good song. Everyone go listen to Stream Come With Me featuring Mia Gladstone. Should be out March 5th. So that's probably now. It's already happened. Probably in the past at this point.
Wait, here's another question. What's your favorite like part of a song, of any song? Like maybe like 30 seconds.
This kid watching.
You know the answer to that, bro. I
Objection,
don't have time for you to be
objection,
asking that
Honor,
kind of
leading
question.
questions.
I
Objection,
don't.
Honor,
What would the answer to that be?
leading questions.
Digital Holiday
Outro.
Oh no, not even, except for that.
The Digital Holiday outro. If you guys haven't listened to this song, it's a great song. It's real. The hook is insane. The chords are great, but then the outro of Digital Holiday is some crazy mind melding.
I'm just watching Ferranti's face right now.
Mind melding,
That's what
like
I meant by that question.
future based,
Cool
like
band for a
electronic.
song.
It's crazy. It's really it's insane. It's like that's like the Charlie XCX song Backseat, and at the end of that song when it goes like, and like that is. Well, that gives me the same sort of euphoria that does in this outro in terms of just like synthy, bassy explosion in my brain goodness. So I'm pretty sure I've expressed this many times. So I think that was what Ferrari may have been getting at, but he's
No, that's not.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
It was what you were getting at.
Sure.
I really like the chorus of Closure. It's really great.
That was a big group effort on that one.
That was a slog.
I really like Burke's verse in
Like
Like
Me
Me
Now.
Now.
It's an all-time verse.
I really like
Classic.
Lord's verse. I like both your verses and Come With Me. So Bad, just the chorus and So Bad. All your guys' hooks are great. Burke's verse and So Bad is also really great.
Yeah.
I think I got Ferranti's.
All right, guys. So we should just wrap up now at this point. Like this has been great. Thank you guys for hopping on my channel. I really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having us.
Thanks for having us.
Nacho.
Glad to be
Shout
here,
out.
Nosh.
Anytime.
Any
Shout out Sparky.
yeah,
Shout out all 700 subscribers. We love every single one of you.
Shout out all 700 subscribers and shout out our listeners and supporters for real. We love you guys so much.
All of
Yeah,
Nosh's
big time.
subscribers
Watch
subscribe
this
to
video.
us.
Yeah,
All-
Real.
Yeah,
Everyone
you got
go
the
follow.
we love you too.
in the description box below.
Woo!
You can
We
check
should
out.
we should give like a secret to people who watched the whole video to this point, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Oh, yes.
some sort of reward.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
secret.
You guys heard about the moon landing? It wasn't real.
Like a Venmo would be in. That's a classic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put your send your
Oh.
First
Venmo.
3 people to say that they watched the whole video get a Venmo.
Hold on. I'm going to give you guys a phone number. I'm gonna give you guys a phone
Ferranti.
number. Here.
No. Don't give out your phone number.
No,
Just
it's not
DM
mine.
us.
It's not mine. Text 973-908-5996 for a Venmo bean. They'll Venmo you $1.
Whose number is that?
Is that
Don't worry
Bailey's
about
number?
No, that's my secretary. It's my
Who
assistant.
you dox? You just dox someone.
I didn't dox
That's
anyone.
not cool.
No doxing. Text that number for a Venmo bean.
No, and you have to say you can't say just I watched the end of the video. You have to say
Say, give me the money. Where's the money?
say spaghetti.
Oh yeah, say spaghetti. Where's my money?
Spaghetti.
Oh
was-
yeah,
That's-
spaghetti was my mind.
That'll also be the password to our underground club.
All right, boys. This Zoom meeting is about to end, so I'm gonna call it. But thank you. Love you guys all.
Thank
very
you,
much.
Noah. Love you.
Bye.
Have a good
Viewers
one.
for
Bye.
watching this.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.